Okay, real quick before the video starts, we're hosting another 1v1 $150 tournament on September 4th. If you want a chance to verse our Blight for a chance to win, all you gotta do is show up to the stream. It'll probably start around noon East time, but I highly recommend joining the Discord for more specific updates because sometimes, these are just people, so they have different schedules, things happen, we might start at a different time, we might move the day. I don't know. Twitch and Discord links are in the description below, and yeah, on to the video. Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to tell you everything I know about face camping so that hopefully you don't see any of this, and hopefully you don't see any more of this. So let's get right into it. First of all, you shouldn't always save against a face camper. It's really obvious against killers like Bubba, but some people forget that Pyramid Head or killers like Oni can also down multiple survivors with one attack. And in the case of Bubba, you can't even really save with borrowed time because unless he messes up, it's really not going to help. Now wait, maybe you don't want to leave this person on hook, and that's fine. If you really want to save against a Bubba, you're a little bit crazy, and because of that, the options you have are going to be a little bit complicated. And that's why first we're going to talk about the normal M1 killers, and then a little bit later we'll talk about Bubba. If the face camper doesn't have the ability to instantly down the survivor, they'll do the next best thing, which is grabbing you off the hook. If you're not alone, hopefully the other survivor will also approach the hook with you, and that way you can both either kind of stagger back and forth the grabs, or one of you will get hit and run away and the other person will save while they're on cooldown, or the second person can body block the killer completely while the first person unhooks. So if you're alone, the only thing you can really do is tap the hook and hope that the killer accidentally hits you, which probably means that now you're going to get downed and hooked. This is usually called trading. Trading is sometimes considered to be the worst option since you're giving a hook state in order to save somebody, but something you should learn to consider is that if two people are going to unhook against a face camping killer, that means only one survivor in the trial might be doing a gen. And if you're in solo queue, everybody might be going towards the hook. So if you trade for a hook instead, you're giving the other two teammates a chance to just do generators. And sometimes that's better. But sometimes randoms can be a little bit questionable. And so you might go for the save thinking your other teammates are doing generators, when actually Nia is standing behind the rock waiting for her epic flashlight save, and Meg is just kind of hanging out nearby watching it all unfold. You probably just want to stay on generators, but it's hard to know sometimes when to stay on generators and when to go for the save. As long as your generator's progression bar isn't red, it's white, it's going normal speed, it takes about 80 seconds to do the entire gen from start to finish, and each hook state takes 60 seconds. So if your gen is over halfway done, that means your gen has less than 40 seconds left. If they get hooked right when you're at the halfway mark, you could have time to complete the gen and then you have 20 seconds to run over there. Maybe that's a little bit close, but you get the idea. The point is you should be able to look at the progress bar and decide if you have enough time to do the gen or not. And now we can talk about Bubba. I'm going to say it again, you should not be saving against a face camping Bubba, and because you shouldn't save against Bubba, it's going to require things like meta perks, or a Swift, or at least players that you are aware are good. It can be solo queue too, but you would have to have some reason to know the other players are good. You're going to want to have gens done, you're going to want to probably make sure there's no no-ed, and then there's a couple of things like hoping the killer makes a mistake. So let's talk about those now. The first thing you should know about is Bubba's tantrum. Tantrum is when Bubba overheats his saw or runs into an object. If he just overheats his saw, which means he doesn't actually use it, he just charges it until it overheats, it lasts for 5 seconds. But if he uses his saw and he hits an object, tantrum lasts for 5 seconds plus 1 additional second for each charge that he used, meaning it lasts for 6, 7, or up to 8 seconds. This is important because during tantrum, Bubba can still down you, and sometimes they use this on lockers. Too early and you get sawed, too late and you get grabbed. Only if you jump out at the perfect time will you survive Bubba tantruming on a locker. In most cases, Bubba just uses one charge, so his tantrum is 6 seconds. In this case, you can just count the chainsaw swipes and on the 6th one, jump out. Now, like I said before, saving against a face camper is super complicated, but you don't need to have everything. In this example, we just used BT and a flashlight. The killer pulls right away, not waiting for DS, but if he did wait for DS, it would just take, 60 seconds longer if he just wanted to stare at the locker. Now, of course, everything in this clip is extremely risky, but the point is, even in extreme cases, it is possible. And there are simpler examples, so let's talk about another one. This is a perfect example of getting down like 1 minute into the match, and then I got face camped. And then my team did all the gens before saving me, and because of that, we were able to get out. So in this example, the killer makes a mistake. He hits an iframe on me, which basically means he hits me while I'm invincible. And then we end up using borrowed time twice and dead hard once. Claudette dies for the save. I get hit with an iframe. I then get hit with borrowed time immediately after because that's how fast his chainsaw is. And then he probably could have dedicated to me, but he decides not to. I might have been able to make it to the pallet, but it doesn't really matter. Instead of healing, we go back so that I can take a dead hard hit, which buys them a little bit longer time to go for the borrowed time save, which ultimately, in a funny, weird way, ends up letting us get out. I tried to use my DS here, but he didn't swing. That's just another specific example, but it just shows that doing things like gens can really make a big difference. This final clip is an example of using just unbreakable on a flashlight. It just goes to show that you don't need all the meta perks in order to pull off a save like this. You just need the right perks for the right circumstances. And Bubba's gonna wait for DS. So while we wait, I know this video doesn't answer the question of how to save against Bubba exactly, but I mean, there's no real way to save against him. So hopefully it gives you some tools and tricks to kind of think about the next time you might try to save against Bubba. If you aren't familiar with some of the flashlight timings or locker attacks or whatever that we did in this video, I have a link to a playlist of all the tutorials that I cover in the description below. Huge thanks to my Patreons who support me and who help in these videos. If you want to help make these videos, you can do so by joining us on Patreon. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.
I believe in you guys.
Mark, please kill my friend Hound.
I don't know if you hear Fox, but I literally just sent them to die. That's actually kind of funny, isn't it? Look at that.
What?
You guys... Wait, did you just let him die?
Yeah, I closed the door when he went in there.